Okay, so it seems like recently this situation has gotten even worse with the faithful sheriff now kind of crashing out over a bunch of different things. Now, obviously, in the last video, we covered the fact that, he was going pretty crazy over the copying allegations. He was talking about copying the burnt peanut and then about other people like Emmy who was copying his entire thing now and kind of giving him a taste of his own medicine, which was very funny to see. And obviously, it's great to see that some people are doing the same back to him because, of course, now he understands how it feels to have, your entire thing kind of taken from you and, whatever. Because technically, none of them are breaking really anything copyright based, right? A lot of these tend to be pretty free use things. For example, like the original burnt peanut model, I'm pretty sure. I don't think it's like a custom model where he owns the copyright to it, so anybody can do it, right? Yeah, it has been pretty funny to see him kind of crashing out over the fact that that someone's doing the same thing that he's doing to the burnt peanut. And seems like he's been crashing out even more with him posting and digging up old threads of this person and saying, oh, apparently this is the person you support, and nobody cares. 23 likes, 32k views. At the end of the day, I don't care either. I just think it's pretty funny that they're doing this to you right now, and that you're getting so mad at it that you're trying to dig up anything that you possibly can on the internet about this person, right? And I think it is pretty insane. But recently, there's been some other news in terms of him being a VTuber and getting into the VTubing space, which of course a lot of fans are not happy about. This is the post here. He says, I've commissioned a new VTuber avatar. It won't be ready for a reveal for a few months, but that can go faster with your help. If you want to donate to get me out of this peanut life as soon as possible, here's a link. I'm still going to be the faithful sheriff, just not a peanut. I realize people are going to hate me regardless, but I see people's points about copying. If it will make the majority of people feel better, then I don't mind changing my avatar. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but it's not a food group. Donations are not needed. It will just take longer to reveal to happen. You can also request a cameo on the link if you don't feel comfortable donating straight to PayPal. So, yeah, I mean, again, it seems like he has a VTuber planned. I don't know what this is. This is just like random. I don't even think this is to do with his actual kind of, what do you call it, VTuber model. It looks like a Fortnite character, I'm going to be honest. But again, obviously he says that he's commissioned a new VTuber. Now, I don't exactly know who has actually decided to take on this commission, right? Because as we know, a lot of the VTubing community, fans and artists and whatnot, don't like the faithful sheriff, right? None of them like him, and I don't think anybody really likes him in that sense. Maybe he's doing it kind of anonymously, so that they don't notice or so that they don't, see it. But again, obviously that would be kind of slimy. But again, it is pretty interesting to see that maybe a VTuber artist has taken them on. Now, he says that he needs more money to speed it up. Now, I don't know if this is like supposed to be like, do it quick kind of money. Like where, they've got a big schedule and giving them extra money will like boost them up the schedule or whatever. Maybe that's the case. But apart from that, I don't really see why you would need more money to speed it up, right? If you've already commissioned the VTuber model, then it should be on the way, right? But again, maybe it's to do with like a queue or a waiting queue. But even then, is he really spending that amount of money on a VTuber model? And I think that if this does end up happening, and this that does end up kind of going through, there's 100% going to be a lot of people that would not be welcoming him into the VTubing space, right? I don't think anybody in the VTubing space would want him to be a part of this, right? And again, people saying the faithful sheriff continues to downplay the fact that he copied the burnt peanut's mannerisms, as well as his own video explaining that his goal and changing to a peanut was for exposure and a chance to collaborate with him. Obviously, yeah, they got a timestamp there saying, no, this is not a picture of my new avatar. It's just a placeholder from Google. Great. My new one will have a hat and scarf, but not be a peanut. So yeah, some people say, why are you commissioning a female avatar? The faithful sheriff transition confirmed. It's not, it's just a placeholder. Yeah, that's very obviously a female model, right? I feel like, the burnt peanuts get through some transitions, right? That's so funny. So yeah, saying you're actually begging for donations, you bottom feeding So I said, not begging. I thought it was that. Bro, that's just a silhouette from Mina from My Hero. You can't be serious. That it's just a placeholder PNG. It ain't that deep. I mean, you could have tried something a bit better, right? That makes me think that you've got nothing started on this model, right? There is nothing actually going ahead with it. Maybe you're thinking about making a VTuber model, but you're not sure yet. You want to see if you get enough donations for it, right? I don't know if this is necessarily, you know, to speed up the fact of a VTuber model. Maybe it's actually genuinely to fund the VTuber model so it can actually start. But you don't want to know, you don't want people to know that it hasn't started yet, right? That'd be my theory behind it. But again, I don't know. Who said likely his new rebrand? Said, I mean, that looks pretty fire, but no. Said you're literally begging for money to change your model. That's insane. But I've already paid for the new one and I'm not begging. No one would donate and I would still change it. It's just going to take months for it to happen rather than weeks if I had a little help. But again, I still don't understand how that's the case, right? Saying if you paid for it, why would our donations help it move faster, right? So they paid for the art, not the rigging. The rigging doesn't get paid for until after the art. The rigging won't start until after the art is finished, and it won't happen until I get the money for the rigging, which could take months. So he doesn't have the money. So yeah, he doesn't have the money, right? So he went from, yeah, I do have the money and I've already paid for the new one. I'm not begging for this. And now he's gone to, oh, but I need money for the rigging. So you're begging for money for the rigging. That's it, right? You're begging for money for the rigging for this VTuber model, which I think is quite funny, right? Because damn, you're that broke. Then, oh, so you have 1,500 plus laying around just to pay for rigging? Nice. That you're a live streamer who averages 500 viewers roughly, I'm guessing. You're making a horrible amount of money compared to the work you do. You have 1,500 to use for it, but you want it to be crowdfunded. I said, I'm absolutely sure things will 100% go differently this time by changing your VTuber avatar. It doesn't really matter. I'll feel better and people can't accuse me of copying anymore. I'm sure someone will, but it's whatever. That as long as it's not Dr. Queso or Professor Tabman, it's a step in the right direction. So, well, considering the silhouette is Mina Ashido from My Hero Academia, I'm going to be surprised if you don't use another person's design again. True. That's actually kind of true. Then you should ask for donations to stop streaming. 5 mil and I stop streaming. I mean, do I have enough money for that? I might. Ooh, wait, I'll think about that one. I'll think about that one. Say, pal, listen, I say this, but not as a hate message, but please just stop and rethink for a minute why people dislike you. Sure, there's comments about being a peanut, but that isn't the root cause. And yeah, 100% true. Saying the other reasons doesn't matter to me because they're BS. I'm not racist. Everyone deserves to hear the gospel, not just adults. Yeah, but the difference is, right? The difference is you're targeting exclusively kids whenever you kind of talk about Christianity or like Fortnite and whatever, right? You never talk to adults because you know that they're not going to listen. They're going to be like, shut the hell up, I'm trying to play Fortnite, right? Which I think is actually kind of insane. So now we sit and wonder who he's copying next. He realizes he got too much heat on his back. Now he's trying everything he can to make sure he doesn't lose his platform. Like, how do we let people get away with this? They're not going to copy nobody. I'm sure someone will accuse me of copying someone, but the avatar will be completely original. Although there could be many people with a variation of the avatar I will have. So he's already trying to kind of cover his tracks there. Be like, oh, well, there could be some people with a variation of that I have. Like, definitely not copying someone, right? Oh god, like, oh my god. I said, why a female model? I said, it's a placeholder. Congrats on the transition. I mean, if I was a girl, the one on the left is pretty fire. I mean, bro, it's so funny, right? I mean, it's insane. Then he uses this placeholder image. But again, it is pretty funny to see that potentially we could be seeing him as a VTuber sometime in the future, right? And it's not going to go well, right? If you're worried about like him actually genuinely becoming a VTuber or anything, just know that people dislike him anyway, regardless of what model he has, whether it's a peanut, whether it's an actual full-on VTuber model. The only thing is, he would have wasted about maybe, what, 2 grand, maybe even 3 grand's worth of money on this VTuber model, right? That's essentially going to be it. If anything, this is just a bigger money sink for him, just to be an even further lolcow. Yeah, it's not going to change anything because he is still who he is, regardless of the peanut model. So yeah, I mean, it is pretty interesting, but I kind of wanted to cover that because I thought it was pretty funny at the same time too. But yeah, if you guys did enjoy this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Also, go to GameStop, use my code KAZA, get 10% off. Again, they've got a ton of really cool stuff over there. Definitely recommend checking it out. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. That's all. So yeah.